I'm going to get into why is America and NATO, which is Finland, Poland, Sweden, Austria, the Czech Republic, on and on, 31 countries, we're the 31st that make up NATO. The Brexit are Russia, China, South Africa, Brazil, India, secretly Iran. They're trading in the renminbi, currency of China. Now, why did this war start in Ukraine? Well, first of all, would you believe we overthrew the government? We helped overthrow the government in 2014. We installed Zelensky, who is a comedian and an actor, as a puppet from the U.S., and it was voted the 10th most corrupt country in the world. Technically, does Ukraine belong to Russia? And the answer to that is yes. I'm going to get into Ukraine has this country is the producer of rutile. It's a certain mineral that is highly abundant in Ukraine, and 14.4% of the world's output of titanium, and several other minerals and wheat. And the NATO agreement was an agreement that there would be no nuclear weapons put in Ukraine, and Ukraine would not be part of NATO. It would be neutral. So Russia is here, Ukraine is in the middle, and then here we have all the NATO countries that are extremely hostile to Russia. And we're putting our biolabs, which were seen by Russian satellite, which were exposed. The Chinese exposed it, and CIA admitted to it finally, that we had our biolabs in Russia, and we had their nuclear facility we were messing with. We had NATO troops that were, inside of inside of Ukraine. And remember this, Ukraine had a couple provinces. Culturally, the economies were political bonds. Ukraine is centered in Russian families have occupied, annexed Crimea. Now, 17.3% they're Russian, and they're fighting Ukraine. The war is claimed that Ukraine has Ukraine said that they don't have any Nazi Stasi troops inside of. That was just all a lie. They didn't have a secret Nazi force that was jailing the Russian people from different provinces of Ukraine that were strictly Russian, and they strictly wanted to be under the protection of Russia. They spoke Russian, and they were jailed. The pastors, the nuns, were put in secret prisons. Their family was not notified. Remember Burisma with Hunter Biden and Joe Biden? President Biden went over there and this is, you can pull this up on the internet on Google, and said, "By damn, I got $1 billion I'm going to give you. If that prosecutor ain't fired by 2 hours, I'm going home with this $1 billion." So they fired the prosecutor that was looking into the corruption of Burisma, laundering money, U.S. money through Ukraine. I mean, he was trying to do his job. They fired him. They got the $1 billion of money, of course. The prosecutor was fired. The charges went away. And that was a violation of the president, how he acted. There's a word for it, and I can't come to my mind right now. But fighting this war is critical to know. Why did this start? And okay, basically there was a NATO agreement, right? And this agreement was between a lot of European nations, the U.S., Canada, that we would not occupy nor put nuclear facilities, biolabs inside of Ukraine, and that was pretty much our agreement with Russia. Now, we have violated the Minsk Agreement, the Warsaw Pact, the NATO agreement, the nuclear treaty with Russia. We have violated every single one of these. We've demonized Putin. I'm not saying Putin's a nice guy, because he's not. He's jailed his political opponents, had them disappear in secret prisons, had them killed, so that, he wanted to remain in power. But as far as a dictator goes, there was agreements made, between countries. No matter what the personality is of the dictator, you have to come to some type of agreement culturally with that country and our country, and how it exists with respect, and which is good for their country, good for our country. We can't be the bully of things. But we overthrew in 2014 this coup d'etat, and Zelensky gets installed. So Ukraine, in the Russian Treaty of Friendship, okay, that's what it was called, 1997, is something that could be, it can't be perfunctory in a manner. It's got to be explained in a different way. It was Ukraine's ethnic cleansing, the reason February 13, 2023, that Istanbul, the available power of the Russian army right now, of the Ukraine army, the available power was supposed to be 22,806 troops. The reserve soldiers are 900,000. The active soldiers are 900,000. The reserve soldiers are 120,000. Okay, and the paramilitary make up 100,000. All right, minus we killed 550,000 Ukrainian troops. There's supposed to be 550,000 left. All right, I don't think Ukraine has that many soldiers left, to be honest with you. And if you notice, Kyiv has not been bombed. Zelensky's capital is in there because Putin says it's like a holy city. So in Istanbul, Turkey, in May of 2022, Putin wanted to make a peace treaty. And they were almost at this agreement between Ukraine and Russia. And in comes NATO and the U.S. and blow up the whole treaty. They are telling Zelensky, oh, we're going to make you part of NATO. And that was one ardent fact, that the treaty between us and Russia and NATO and Russia, we said that Ukraine was going to remain neutral, not have nuclear weapons, not have biolabs, and not have NATO or U.S. forces in there. And Ukraine started becoming Stasi with the Russian provinces and messing with the Russian people, disappearing them. This is a fact. And now it doesn't seem like anybody's trying to make a peace treaty with Russia. It seems like they're still wanting, to prop up Zelensky, sending billions of dollars, billions. Let me get you the it's 1.4 trillion actually. The idea of friendship of Ukraine does not join NATO. This is May 19th, 2024. The Hungarian president in 1949 agreed to also treaties with Finland, and with the Soviet Union, and the Istanbul Agreement is no nukes or NATO. The Istanbul Agreement, no nukes or NATO forces or U.S. forces or biolabs or nuclear weapons inside Ukraine. Period. They don't. Russia doesn't want to have these NATO hostile troops right on its border. It doesn't trust it, and I wouldn't trust it either. We've demonized Russia. Russia hoax. Russia messed with our election. Russia did the laptop. Russia helped Trump get elected. Russia this, Russia that. They are holding a innocent newscaster right now, Gertrovich, and I hope that he gets freed soon. He's having his trial, and Russia said they'll do a prisoner swap after he's found guilty, because 99.9% of the people that go into his Russian trials get found guilty. That's kind of the bad part of living in Russia. The good part is they don't have much crime. because I think people know better to do stupid stuff in Russia, and the cities are immaculately clean, unlike our cities. But Putin is tired of the globalist agenda and the stupidity of trans movement and, this trans agenda. If you're a trans, fine, be one. But don't push your ideology on me that I have to call you a she. If you got a swinging penis, you're a man, okay? I don't care if you say you're a woman. You're not a woman, okay? There's two genders, and that's how I feel. There's born in chromosomes, XO and X, I think XX chromosomes, and that separates the male from female. That's it. There was no third gender, and this is all in the past 10 years. All this weirdness has come in, where 2008, all of a sudden we got to bail out the banks and trillions of dollars of wealth transferred. All of a sudden 2001, our towers get knocked down. All of a sudden, Iraq has weapons of mass destruction. We're demolished Iraq, genocided 2.2 million people. Whoop, there's no weapons there. Sorry, Saddam hung them. We over the coup in the Arab Springs in Egypt, the war in Lebanon to get Gaddafi overthrown, a regime change. He got killed. The other countries were Afghanistan. When the pilots were all Saudi Arabian, I don't know what we went into Afghanistan for. And then we had Osama bin Laden pinned. And then we were told to stand down. Don't get him up. We got him pinned. Stand down. And we stood down, and like 10 hours later, we sent the Northern Alliance up there. He had already escaped to Pakistan. He hadn't been in the country since. There's no sightings of him, but yet we stood in that country and bombed the crap out of it because we didn't like the Taliban for 20 years. I don't like the Taliban. I think they're evil. I think ISIS is evil. They're barbaric. They're the way they treat women, the way they treat they have no their culture. Sucks, and but I don't believe in bombing a culture just because they suck and they have some evil people in there, because a lot of countries have a lot of evil people in there. It's hard to juggle. The U.S. is in we have a ghost of a president. He is not strong like Trump. Trump went in there, made peace through strength, got fair trade going, got Mexico on board to remain in Mexico. Since Biden has taken office, this war broke out, and the Russian did smell the weakness of Joe Biden, and Russia, Taiwan, China's rattling their sword at Taiwan. The horrible October 7th event that took place with Hamas and Israel. They're calling Israel. They have to wipe out Hamas. They cannot coexist with coexist with Hamas's decree and memorandum is to wipe out Israel and hate Americans. They hate us too. They hate the Western culture. So I think that if we really wanted, I don't think this administration knows how to make peace with Putin. I think Putin has no respect for this administration. Tony Blinken is a scumbag. Austin, Defense Secretary Austin was missing for a week. Nobody missed him. The president was hung up studying for a 90-minute stand-up, debate last night that he did horrible on. That they want to replace him. He has just aged. Father Time caught up with him, and it's evil for the people, the Democrats, to say, "Oh, Joe Biden does cartwheels and he's spry, behind the scenes. He's very attentive to detail and he's got a great memory. And I got to be on my A game when I come into a meeting with Biden." All a lie, all lies. They don't even, he's just a puppet. And who else is running? Who's running the government is a far left agenda. Blinken, Austin, Joe Biden. I don't know. The Obamas have some involvement in it, but I wish that we would make peace with Russia. I know Trump would have the war stopped and a peace agreement made. I just know that he would be able to get it done. I believe if I spoke to Putin and I was the president of this country, I'd be able to get it done. He's just They demonized Putin. They've been demonizing him, and he tried to join the UN. They wouldn't let him join the UN. We've demonized them for 3 decades, and now we really have an enemy. They're running drills together with North Korea. We pushed them together with China, an alliance with them. With Vietnam, with the Philippines. China's ramming the Philippines Navy, and ramming their boats, sinking them, water hosing on them. In the Asian Pacific Sea, they're militarizing their presence in the Asian Pacific Sea, because here's the thing: we cannot no longer hold the U.S. reserve currency and rip the globe off of $77 trillion, sell our bonds to different countries, have no intention of paying that debt back. We can't pay it back. So I don't know what we're going to do about this debt. We need to start selling our oil and natural gas, and cut taxes, and put more money in the hands of the working class people, and rejuvenate our economy, which Trump has a plan to do. And also to make peace in Israel and Hamas and Israel and the Hezbollah, by Lebanon, to make peace there instead of escalate. They had the Abraham Accords that went out the window with Joe Biden, because who could meet with Joe Biden? Look at him, what he was like last night. Could you imagine meeting him with world leaders? The United States, they want to be in power so bad, they'll wreck America just to hold on to their power. So they got their private security, and they got people washing their dishes and doing their laundry, and yes ma'am, and calling them sir and saluting them. They're scumbags. And the everything agenda they pushed, is totally antisocial, anti-American, and I hope that this war in Russia stops, because the killing, Russia is decimated. Huge parts of Russia is decimated. All right, thank you. God bless you. Like and subscribe, and follow me on Twitter. Thank you.